Yeah, there is so much to unpack today with a very end-to-end entertaining games from Liverpool, Atletico Madrid, PSG versus Atalanta, and Bayern Munich and Chelsea, the so-called world champions, have actually met their meter today. The so-claimed cold Palmer. What happened? He thought he had opened the floodgates for Chelsea to perform by scoring the first half, but eventually it didn't amount to anything. So today we are going to go deep dive into the games to actually talk about what actually happened during the games and what I was expecting to happen. I think some of them actually happened. Looking at what I was expecting PSG to do, they actually did it, showing why they are the current UEFA Champions League winners. Okay, let's start from the Liverpool game. I actually did watch the Liverpool game and I was, how should I say it? I was actually impressed with what Liverpool did in the first few minutes. But I think after Atletico de Madrid conceded the two goals, their so-called haram football where everybody is angry at them for playing that kind of football, I think it went away. They actually showed they could actually play with Liverpool, but I don't know why Diego Simone keeps on allowing his team to play this haram or defensive style of play. I understand that's his trademark. That's what he is known to be doing. But I think he has so much quality in the team to be playing that kind of football. I was very impressed after they conceded the two goals. They actually came out, played, showed Liverpool they can actually play. This is what we'll be expecting from Atletico de Madrid. Unfortunately, they couldn't hold on to the draw. They lost at the end. But this is what we feel like if they continue to do this, I believe they will be a very scary team because they have the players, they have the talent to actually go to toe to toe with any other team by not always playing defensively. Congratulations to Liverpool again for coming back in the dying minutes. After the first 15 minutes where Liverpool were putting pressure on Atletico de Madrid, I don't think they actually did anything until they came back into the second half to cool down the game and actually prevent Atletico Madrid from doing what they did after they conceded the two goals. Because looking at what Atletico de Madrid did right after scoring, no, sorry, right after conceding the two goals, I didn't know they had this in them. Or is it like we knew they had this in them, but they were not willing to play this because I didn't expect them to go toe to toe with Liverpool like this. I seriously did not. Which begs to say that Simone has the players to do it, but I don't know why he's not doing it. I just don't know why he's not doing it. I believe we can see the best from Atletico de Madrid if they continue to play this way by not always trying to defend and be in their post. But I like the way Liverpool actually made them come out because from the beginning, looking at how Liverpool approached the game, they penetrated into their defense, letting them know they can be penetrated. And I'm very impressed with what the kind of play style Liverpool started with by Salah scoring the second goal. And I like the way he has actually ghosted for a few games now. He hasn't been himself, but looking at this game, I'm thinking we are going to see Salah from last season from now going. I think his stock has gone down a little bit, but I don't think that should stop him from being the Salah we used to know. I'm thinking he's going to pick up as the season progresses. But congrats to him, and for me, he is my man of the match with the kind of um, performance he plays in from the start of the game. And Van Dijk coming to score the last minute goal shouldn't actually cover up how they allowed Atletico Madrid to push them and even score 2 goals against them, despite the fact that they were very solid at the back. They didn't allow Atletico Madrid to actually have their way on their counter attacks, though. But at the end of the day, they still consider 2 goals. At the end of the day, they still consider 2 goals. So I still think there is this room for improvement. I don't like the way they are winning their games in the dying minutes. I still believe they are a team that can win the game before 60th minute. I don't see why they are trying to still, or is it everybody's now prepared for them as the amount of quality they brought into their team. I think they are now the team to look at when playing. I think when playing them, they are one of the teams to look at, because I think everybody is now cautious of the kind of way they play against Liverpool, because now they actually have the players to actually destroy your team. That's how I should put it. They actually have the players to destroy your team. So I'm trying to believe that the last minute winning would be like the season where we used to see Leverkusen coming in the dying minutes to win. I think we'll see that a lot from Liverpool, because everybody is wary of them. Everybody is trying to change their tactics to be able to meet them halfway and actually get a draw from them. Watching, I think the interview of Slot saying that he didn't even know Burnley had gone, is it 19 games without losing at home. So for them losing against Liverpool, I think, and Slot is taking a positive, so a little bit of positivity from their game, but I still believe they should have won the game easily, which they did though, but it wasn't convincing because the game ended in a 1-0 penalty to them. So I don't still believe it's a convincing win, but I will still have to say everybody's wary of them, so we will have to be expecting them to be winning most of their matches in the dying minutes of the games. Like I was trying to say, Marcos Llorente has been dropped to a kind of defensive kind of player. I'm thinking Diego Simeone is too fixated on defending that he is actually losing the points from the kind of players he has. With Marcos Llorente going forward, he is my former player. I believe he can do a lot going forward. I'm thinking at Simeone, it is not his style of play, but I believe he should at least try to play a little bit of attacking game, adding to his game. I like that the counter attack works for him, but today it didn't actually work for him because of Konate and Van Dijk. They didn't actually, and Gravenberch with Szoboszlai help, they didn't actually give them the opportunity to play the counter attack. So they had to come in, play an attack, play a holding possession kind of football and attack Liverpool. So I'm thinking I think that should give him a perspective of changing their kind of play, because he has the talent to do it. It really has the talent to do it. Let's move on to the Chelsea game. Oh my God, Chelsea, world champions, the so-called world champions. world champions, cold losing with cold losing. I don't know. I know some few pundits are going to have their way with Chelsea today. I think some pages are really happy Chelsea losing. They are making too much noise with it. They are making too much noise with it. Their Club World Cup they've won. They think the Club World Cup will translate to constant victories for them. Uh, I think they've met their meter. that's the kind of phrase we use here. They've met a team that can actually let them know they are not there yet, but they can be there within years to come, but they are not there yet. They've actually come back into the Champions League after um, a time off from the Champions League just to meet. I don't think, but I think this is also an opportunity for them to know that they are not there yet, and this their teams that are actually being the Champions League are showing them that they've actually missed out on being one of the best teams we used to know them to be in recent time. I think Bayern Munich have shown why they are still in the Champions League, and I'm happy with that. I think the Chelsea will go back, do their homework, and in case they meet in the future, I think the knockout stages they will try to do something or show why they are the Club World Cup champions. But right now, their so-called Club World Cup couldn't do anything for them. Their midfield was in shambles. With Kimmich and Pavlovic showing them that they are actually the team to beat when they met. They showed Enzo Fernandez and Casado that you could play against everybody, but when you meet them, they'll show you who they are. I'm not actually surprised with Bayern Munich though, because watching the Club World Cup, they actually pushed PSG to the mile. Just a few silly mistakes that got them out. They were very good against PSG. So them showing Chelsea why they were supposed to qualify instead of PSG, they've actually showed it to Chelsea today. So Chelsea shouldn't be worried though. They should go back home and go and do their homework well. That delusion they have in their head that they are world champions. So they are coming, they want to meet the big teams. They started with the loss. And if they don't do their homework well, Barcelona will also show them why they've also built up their team to this certain stage. So that the delusion of being world champions, I think this is a wake-up call to them that they shouldn't be thinking that they are at a certain level where they are not really though. As we all know, watching those who watch the match will tell you, Harry Kane is the man of the match. I think he was everywhere on the pitch, looking at Harry Kane because I saw him trying to start the attack for Bayern Munich at so many times. He actually drops deep to pick up the ball and push so that his players from the front lines, Olise and Olise and Diaz to actually go so that he gives them the ball and fall in to receive the ball and score. I think I like the performance from Harry. I don't think it is a much surprising performance though, but because this is what he has been doing game in, game out. He's that kind of striker that will not sit up front. He will be moving through the midfield at like a number 10 and going up and down to help his team be the attacking team we expect them to be. There is no single Chelsea player I would say did well today, with the exception of Fopama, who scored, and actually he scored 2 goals. 1 goal was disallowed, but then his coldness couldn't freeze down Bayern Munich's wonderful performance today. And they shouldn't forget, they are looking at their head-to-head against Bayern Munich, they shouldn't forget they are yet to prove, they are yet to score they are yet to win a game against Bayern Munich. They are yet to do that. Chelsea is yet to win against Bayern Munich in the Champions League. I think looking at their head to head, I don't think Chelsea has beaten. Yeah, looking at their head to head. Okay. I think the first game they met in 2005. I think the first game they met in 2005, Chelsea won. Ever since then, they've played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They've played 7 games, and Chelsea are yet to win. With the exception of the Champions League final, where Chelsea won on penalties, but the game still ended in a 1-1 draw. So ever since 2005, Chelsea has not been able to beat Bayern Munich ever since again, and I think that's a bad record against Bayern Munich. Looking at the kind of team or the investment that has gone into Chelsea, I don't think it should be this number of matches against a particular team where you don't actually come and win. But Chelsea will also say they have a memorable record against them where they won the Champions League against Bayern Munich at the Allianz Arena. So I think Chelsea will still be holding on to that, but I don't think it is still a good record against Bayern Munich. They are yet to beat Bayern Munich. They should win again against Bayern. I'm hoping when they meet in the knockout stages, they will be able to prove a point, because I still believe this Chelsea team can beat anyone if they have a good day, but their defense still needs work to be done. Their defense, I think that's a little bit problem with them. If you start from this season, I think they've conceded 2 goals against Brentford. I think their defense needs to put in work. But I think Chelsea should go back home and just do something. But I think I think another player too that I would say had a very good game with Chelsea is Gusto. I think Gusto was making few rounds with Qwami on the flanks. I think they can take a joy out of that. And with Qwami coming back and scoring 2 goals in 2 matches, I think Qwami would be a help to Chelsea as the season progresses. But this is their first loss of the season. They shouldn't feel bad though, because other teams are not actually performing well. They should take a little bit of positiveness from this game, and I think it will change the way they play and everything. To wrap up everything, looking at today's game, I think Olympiacos, and I think they have a team here in Ghana which we call Olidade, Oli Machine, Oli Kosonkoso. I think Olympiacos has been disappointing today, with their opponent getting the record in the early minutes of the games. I think is it the 24th minute or 20 something minute. They got the record. They should have won it. 0-0 wasn't an option. I'm sure the betting guys are very angry at Olympiacos today. Inter won their game. That's no surprise. Slavia Praha, I was thinking, would have won the game though, but with Bodo, I'm not surprised though. PSG won their game, and it's not surprising they won. They are world champions, and we all expect them to win. So, and Liverpool winning in a dying minute against Atletico de Madrid, where personally I would say Atletico Madrid has surprised me, and the so-called world champions losing being a wake-up call to them. So looking at tomorrow's, I think there's few matches coming up tomorrow on Thursday, with Manchester City playing against Napoli at the Etihad, at the St James Park, when Newcastle host Barcelona. To watch is Frankfurt versus Galatasaray, where I would like to see Osimhen prove the world right by the bad media information going around about him. I think he's going to show the reason why, to me, he's one of the top 5 strikers in the world. To me, he's one of the top 5 strikers in the world now. So let me see. Club Brugge will also be playing Monaco, and Copenhagen will be playing Liverpool. That game, I will not be shocked if that game ends in a draw, because Copenhagen, I think they can hold their own against some of the teams in the Champions League. So we wrap up with Chelsea's defeat, and I'm very happy they lost. I think it's a wake-up call to that. See you tomorrow.